Confessions at midnight. Come a little closer, let me whisper in your ear, my dear one. Let me share secrets of dark cinema sweetness, silly plots and outrageous deeds. Curl up at my feet like a barn cat at dawn, purr in time to my breathing. Look into the fire, be calm at my voice, retelling scenes best left alone. Confessions at midnight. I wanna be a positive renegade, making changes for the better, throwing out old rules and creating a new landscape that can be shared. Be kind, be honest, be courageous. I wanna be a leader, don't be afraid. A voice whispers inside, you have the power to change the wrong. Bring vision the past, build the future. Plant positive in your garden and watch it grow. I wanna be a positive renegade, making changes for the better, throwing out old rules and creating a new landscape that can be shared.
Hey, gang. Hey, Hope. Hey, the poet. And welcome to, hey, Tom. I'm doing pretty good tonight. I hope everybody else is doing great as well. I haven't done one of the Positive Renegades in a little while due to, holidays and sickness and all that good stuff or bad stuff in the case of sickness. But I did want to get back to doing these on a kind of at least semi-regular basis, and usually I do them on Sundays. But this is chapter 3 of my path to becoming a positive renegade, and the topic for this one is forgiveness is key. And something that has been told to me over and over again about forgiveness is just because you forgive somebody doesn't mean that you forget. It also does not necessarily mean that you have to be happy-go-lucky with that person again. But in some cases, it could be. It could be that forgiveness is the first step in you getting back on the right track with somebody that you've had issues with. Okay? Or the reverse, somebody that's had issues with you. If you can bring yourself to forgive them for whatever they have done, that can go a long way towards making you healthier mentally and physically, as well as possibly opening yourself up to being able to move on from that and be friendly with the person or persons again. So once again, I include myself in these things because everything that I talk about on these, I have in some way been guilty of myself. Okay. And forgiveness is another thing that I have had a hard time being able to do. Eventually, I have. Um, and I just think that that's an important part of you becoming healthier. Whether you ever talk to that person again, just the fact that you say, to God or whatever your higher power is, or to the universe, that, hey, I forgive this person. I don't have to forget what they did. I don't necessarily have to talk to them again, but I do forgive them. And the moment that you're able to do that, I promise you, it's as if a great weight is lifted off of you. Um, I hope you say I tried 1,000 times and it always ends up bad. My former friend Tom W. Bottom line, he was an asshole. Okay, well, Hope, here's what, and I'm not trying to say to, necessarily, um, oh, well, thank you for saying I'm awesome, Hope. I don't feel so awesome sometimes, but that makes me feel a little better. Um, but the thing to remember, folks, is that forgiving doesn't mean that you have to go back and talk to that person. But you can say to yourself, to the universe, to God, whatever your higher power is that you believe in, you can say, I don't I don't want to ever talk to this person again. I choose never to talk to this person again because I can't trust them. And that's okay. If you say that, that is okay. But the important of it is, and you don't have to tell them you forgive them. You say it to yourself. You say it to the universe. You say it to God or whatever your higher power is, that I forgive this person. You don't have to tell that person anything. This is just between you and yourself, you and the universe, you and God or your other higher power. Tom, you say, my feeling is if it cuts ties, there is a reason for it. I trust that feeling. And Tom, that is a very valid thing. And again, I am not telling, if you feel that you have been wronged by someone and you want to cut ties and you never want to reconnect with that person, that is fine. That is fine. But the forgiveness part is to give you healing. Trust me, folks, this will give you healing. And again, this does not have to be with you and that other person. You do not have to go to them and say, I forgive you. Okay? You don't have to ever talk to that person again. But just between you and yourself, like I said, you and the universe, you and God or your other higher power, the simple act of saying, I forgive this person. I won't forget. I may not ever want to talk to that person, but I forgive them for what they've done. That is the most important thing that I feel. Um, I hope you say that's how I feel, definitely from what you just said. Can I beat them with a shoe? Well, you know what I would suggest in that case, Hope, is to, maybe if you could tolerate it, put a picture up of that person and throw shoes at that picture until you feel better. Or you could throw darts at it. I mean, you're not throwing darts at the real person, and you know, just do that until you feel better. Um, and and honestly, folks, not everybody's going to agree with me on this, and that is fine. These are just my tools, or tools that I have gathered over time, that have allowed me to become a stronger person, to become what I refer to as a positive renegade. And I think that has helped me in real life. It's helped me somewhat with work life. It has helped me in my social media presence, because there for a while um, I was really being stubborn. I was really, really being stubborn. And I did not want to forgive these people. And apparently, they just, for whatever reason, they don't want, some of these people didn't want anything to do with me. Some of them were talking again. Some of the people don't want to have one iota to do with me. And I had to come to accept that. And I had to tell myself, I said, Dana, you have to forgive them so that you will be free of this. But you have to let them go. See, that's the other part of this. I was trying to hold on to people that did not want to be held on to. And it was just making these people angrier and angrier and angrier. So, see, again, that's the other part of it, that even if you forgive somebody, that does not mean that they're going to come back and they're going to be buddy buddy with you. That is a hard lesson I had to learn. It was a very extremely difficult lesson to learn. But I finally learned it, unfortunately, after, there was damage done. And that was not only damage done to me, but damage done to the other people, because it led to things being taken totally out of context, and me being seen as someone that was stalkerish. I didn't feel like I was, but I think the people on the other side thought I was. And for that, I am heartily sorry for that. Um, and everybody else has their own things to deal with, their own people to deal with. But again, what I'm trying to do with this series is try to help people. Um, people tried to help me too, and I was stubborn and I didn't listen. And things finally came to a head with me, and it got really nasty and hurtful and all of that. So, um, Tommy said, problem is sometimes you bump into them at the store at an event. I ignore them. Luckily, it's only one person. I don't think about it. And Tom, if ignoring them when you meet up with them, if just turning your back and going the other way is the way that you deal with it, there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. The only thing I'm talking about here is in your heart. I feel like people need to forgive. They don't need to forget. They don't need to be buddy buddy with the person that's hurt them or done them wrong. You most certainly do not. Forgiveness doesn't mean you go back and say, hey, buddy, clap them on the back and say, hey, let's be friends again. That's not what forgiveness means. It's not what it means to me. Forgiveness to me means that you say, I forgive this person or persons, but I choose not to have anything to do with them. I don't trust, or whatever the issue is. And I do not want to have any more interaction with them. And then you close the door. And that's all there is to it. And like I just told Tom, if you see them out and about and you don't wish to speak with them, then it's okay to turn your back and walk the other way. And hopefully that other person will leave you alone and do the same. But, you know, like I said, forgiveness is the only thing I'm talking about here. And I'm not saying you're damned to hell if you can't forgive somebody. All I'm saying is that you're the path to you having complete closure, I feel, is paved with forgiveness. Again, that does not mean that you've got to go and call them up and say you want to have a lunch date. It doesn't mean that you've got to ask them to go to the movies or meet at the park for a talk. You don't have to do anything like that. You never have to have any interaction with them ever again. But for your own peace of mind, say, I forgive this person. You can say it out loud in your room alone. And you can say, I forgive this person. God, the universe, yourself, whoever you speak to when you do this. And this is not crazy. This does not mean you're crazy if you do this. And you say, I forgive this person, but I want nothing more to do with them. I close the door on this. And that's the end of it. Now, if you're on the other side of it, like I was, and I was hearing terrible things being said about me and stuff like that. That's the other door I had to close. I had to learn to not listen. And if I did listen, to not respond to what was being said. Unless well, the best thing to do is to just shut it all out. Don't go looking for it, because that was another mistake I made. I went looking for inklings that someone was talking about me. And when I found it, it didn't sit well with me. So for most people, it would probably be best to just close the door completely, not, not go looking for anything on social media. Don't try to reach back out to these people. If you were on the other end of, they were like, I'm done with you. I don't want to talk to you. And I'm shutting you out. It's best if were on the side that I was, instead of getting angry, instead of getting hurt, just say, I forgive you for what you said about me. I forgive you for not wanting to be my friend, but I'm closing the door now. And this is the end of it. Right? And that's all you need to do. And I know it's hard sometimes. It's very, very difficult. It's very difficult sometimes. Yeah, Tom, you're right. No, never go back in that mindset. Never, ever. You have to, once you close that door, don't open it back up again, because it's a door that's better left closed. And since I did that, I feel a lot better in that respect. My mind is a lot clearer. I'm happier. Every once in a while, I'll feel a twinge, but that I have so far, since the last interaction, have managed to keep the door shut. And, if you have a social media presence, I don't care how large or small it is, and because of something, people come and try to troll. Again, the best thing that you can do is ignore that, and it will fade away eventually. Because I have had people try to be trolls, and the best thing that I have found, the best course of action, is to ignore it. Do not give any attention to people that try to get you riled up, because that is, hey, they're angry too. They're angry because they think that you wrong somebody that they're friends with. You know, or, that is in my case. And, they may, there for a while, they may dislike your videos or your reels or whatever whatever you're doing, or your Instagram post, your Twitter post, whatever. But the important thing to remember, folks, is that it will fade away. It may seem like it's not going to, but it will. Your viewership may take a hit on your YouTube channel, but that's not going to last forever, folks. It's not going to last forever. And I know that, the troubles I've had with my social media presence, it's not going to last forever. And the important thing is I just keep on doing what I want to do, what I enjoy doing. And that's all I need to be concerned with. I don't need to be concerned with people that don't want anything to do with me. I don't need to be concerned with people that are angry because they think I did something terrible to these people. I know what I did and didn't do. And, and my family and my friends, they know what I did and didn't do. So I don't need anything else. I don't need anything else. I don't need anyone that has decided to separate from me. I don't need them to come back into my life. I thought I did. I thought I needed that, but I don't. I don't, to be a whole person. And neither do any of you. So if you've been wrestling, again, this is not going to be a long one because I could just talk around and around in circles, but I don't like to do that. I just like to get to the point, discuss it a little bit, and I'm done for the night, especially with these particular live streams. So I think I've said all I've got to say about, I sound like Forrest Gump. That's all I got to say about that. But I do believe I have said all I have to say about this chapter 3 of my path to becoming a positive renegade. And Hope, Tom, the poet, I want to thank all of you guys for being, and gals, for being in here with me. For those of you that maybe didn't feel comfortable getting in the chat, or you're using a device where you're not able to get on chat, I want to thank you for watching. And also, I want to thank those of you that will watch this on the replay. I appreciate you guys and gals as well. And I'm going to call it a night. But be sure to check out all the programming I got coming up this week. I've got some celluloid trash. I've got a new show called Horror Mania, where I'm going to try to talk about every horror movie ever made. And I've got some insomnia cure coming up. They're all messed up. So hopefully I'll be able to make good and be able to do all of those things the coming week. Me and Steve got a new We Watch Movies out. I've got another Pick Your Poison taste test out for Stranger Things Gatorade Upside Down Citrus Cooler. So if you haven't checked that out, be sure to check that out. And I guess that's it for me for tonight, folks. I'm off like a dirty shirt. This shirt ain't dirty, but I'm off like one. And I want to remind everybody, as I always do, especially during these particular streams, to be kind to one another, just like my shirt says. Be kind to one another and blaze that trail. Have a fantastic. There is a new Sam Raimi. Oh, like a new Sam Raimi movie? Is that what you're talking about, Tom? Yeah, I'm happy about that too. I'm going to give that a try. But have a fantastic rest of your Sunday night, folks. And like I said before, let's make 2026 the best year ever, folks. And let's make it bright, happy, creative, and all of those good things combined. And I'm out of here for now, but I'll see everybody next time.